So today we're going to be swapping the Cuda over to front disc brakes from the drums that it came with. I don't know what size these are, I don't care to measure them, but I do know that the front drum plus the backing plate and the spindle weighs 47 pounds. I think this is 27 pounds of rotational weight that we're going to be getting rid of. Obviously the difference is subtracting that the front disc. This is a ton of weight we're going to get off each wheel. I do not care to run drum brakes on this car. I don't care to run drum brakes on any car. I have them on a separate car and they are marginal at best. When you hit the brakes, the car floats all around. It either seems to lock them up and I'm sure there's many people out there that will tell you that they have disc brakes or the drum brakes that will work flawlessly, but I just don't feel like putting any time and money into getting these set up right whenever companies like Wilwood sell conversion kits that are so nice. I've installed this on the other side. I didn't videotape it. I am going to videotape this one obviously because this kit is super nice. It goes together so easy. And if you're thinking about going disc brakes, this is definitely an option somebody can put together in their driveway. The reason why I went with the Wilwood setup was because I expect this car to do a little bit more than the average street car, and the vented and slotted rotors just were a little bit more appealing to me. I had originally ordered 6 piston calipers, but I came to find out right before they shipped that the 12-inch rotor will not fit underneath a 15-inch Chrysler rally wheel. It will fit under other 15-inch Chrysler wheels, but not those ones. And those happen to be the wheels that I have for this car. I don't anticipate I'll be running them very often, but I will probably be running them at first. And I didn't want to have an issue where I had to buy wheels right out of the gate. So I'm going to time lapse this video because there's not a whole bunch to talk about. So I'll be able to show you the different components and what exactly goes into swapping from these ugly, heavy 1971 technology drums over to this brand new shiny stuff. So the one thing I will add is everything from Wilwood comes really nicely packaged. The entire kit came in a a standard probably 12 by 12 by 12 box right to my door, nice and compact. Everything looks to be really well made. I don't know the material these bolts are made out of, but if they work for Wilwood, they're good enough for me. The one thing that I was concerned about though is this particular kit didn't have any bolts for safety wire, which I would have thought would have been a standard. I'm just mocking everything up right now. I'm not going to torque anything down, just hand tight or wrench tight or whatever. Whenever I take everything back apart and the car gets painted, then I'll go through and meticulously torque everything down to the proper spec. I might go to McMaster-Carr and get some safety wire bolts if I decide to. Maybe not though, so. brakes are all done. I know I didn't show you how I actually installed them, but there really wasn't anything to show other than bolting the spindle onto the lower and upper control arms. Just 2 bolts, and then once you have that in place, you can actually put the spindle on with the small front bearing cap on, and then bolt on the caliper. Everything is pretty much bolt right on, nothing crazy. You don't really have to engineer anything, so they made it easy. Like I said, you could do this in your driveway. The hardest part, and it was only hard because you needed 3 hands, was trying to get the spacer down in here. You have to put the spacer to make sure that the caliper is centered on the brake pads, and this side took 1 spacer, top and bottom. The other side took 2. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But overall, it went pretty easy. So no brake lines yet. I'm going to be ordering a Wilwood master cylinder with the integrated proportioning valve with a line lock. So that'll probably be the next video. While we're in here, just going to show you the rest of the setup. QA1 front strut bars. I don't know if they work any better than stock. Again, everything's stock on this car, weighed a ton. The stock ones were solid bar steel, and these are steel ends with an aluminum housing, so much lighter, a little bit of weight off the front end. Again, every little bit helps. PST uppers with the heim joints, was pretty happy with the quality and the price. I had QA1 uppers with the rubber bushings on a race car, and they worked pretty well, a step above OEM, and these appear to be a step above those. For the shocks, QA1 Stocker, single adjustable, hopefully give me the ability to drive to the track with 1 setting, swap while I'm there, and then swap again to drive home. So I wanted something with a little bit of adjustability, and I knew non-adjustable shock just wasn't going to give me what I needed this car to do. Also, so I'm trying to use every piece of factory hardware that I have, and most of the components that I'm digging off the shelves have all the bolts, but for the ones that don't, I wanted to go stainless because I didn't want to deal with any sort of corrosion, and then the corrosion spreads. So I wanted to go stainless. Some local places have stainless steel bolts, but they're super expensive. And so I went online and I found a place called the Bolt Depot, and their stainless bolts are super cheap. I don't know about the quality, but everything appears to be pretty good. I made up 1 small order just for these lower shock bolts, and I'm super happy with it. So I'm going to make a list of everything I need going forward, and then towards the end of the build, once I'm taking everything back apart for bodywork and paint, I'm just going to put in a big order, and then everything will be stainless unless it's some special bolt that really shouldn't be. So not sponsored by them, but everybody that I talked to had never heard of them before, so I figured I would let you guys know. So check them out. I'm happy with what they sent me. Very clean. Order was all complete, even though it was only 12 pieces. So also bought stainless steel bolts for the intake manifold. I had other bolts, but I figured since I'm putting this order in, that was the most pieces I could get until they started increasing their shipping. So that was kind of my thought. So check them out.